So just after a few days of landing on American style, after Bounty Killer has not been here for like 15 years, my people, would I see where the entertainer link up with another, protege, so to speak, who basically wasn't here for a while as well, my people. And we that talk about Vybz Kartel, and we that see where them link up with DJ Khaled, my people. You get to me, I say a lot of fans is excited to see the moment and know that, when it comes down to Vybz Kartel and Bounty Killer, two figures where our cloud of uncertainty was, above them head as it relates to when them actually can trad globally, my people. You get to me, I say, yeah, man, especially with the likes of Vybz Kartel and him whole incarceration. A lot of people did even question the whole freedom thing, much less we expect that him would have out and there America so quick, my people. So say that is a great feeling for the Gaza fans, and also for the Alliance fans, it's also a great feeling to see the fact that Bounty Killer can actually, spread him wings again, so to speak, the people. So when I see where them in a studio with DJ Khaled, and basically it look like them all a cook up a trap, my people. You get to me and say, so as them land upon the Miami ground, say work I put in said way. You get to me and say, my people, because I don't know and see how the thing are going. The people them need the music out here, and the fans have a lot of expectations on these artists and put a lot of faith in them to actually lead the thing, my people. You get to me and say, and speaking of leading, Vybz Kartel in the US, the likes of Capleton, Sizzler, Buju Banton, Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, and the list goes on, my people. We would also see where fans are called for the likes of Popcorn, and I wonder, a war going with Popcorn, but Popcorn cannot get him visa for travel to the US, my people. A lot of people would have say, that would have been one of the, finishing touches on the whole thing for make the thing look like it up on the real level, my people, and make Dancehall look like it have the real chance to capitalize globally, my people. You get to me, I say, so a lot of people would have, lobby and I say, well, a time for Popcorn get him documents, because it's rather unclear as to what exactly is stopping him, since they would have seen him at Canada, England, and all over, my people. So, it's very interesting. I don't know what to think, my people, if you are part of the who think that the unruly boss should actually, get him documents as it relates to United States. If I feel like Popcorn deserve to get him documents, I put it in the comment section, my people. Maybe the person where I hold it up, maybe I go through the comments and see it. So let me know, my people. You get to me and say, and as we say, Vybz Kartel and DJ Khaled and Bounty Killer link up. Leave your thoughts and tell me what you think. And as it relates to some other musical regions in my people, would I see where an entertainer who was called out on stage at the Tartola show, where Vybz Kartel and MC, for my people. We are talking about reggae artists. Pressure. We see a news circulate from over BVI, my people. I think one of them islands the pressure come from. I'm not really sure if a Tartola or whatever, my people, but we know over there so him actually come from. Even though a reggae him sing and him sing it so good like he's a yard man. Now we get to understand that the entertainer was robbed at gunpoint, my people. Over there, very serious thing, my people. Jaja know. According to this article, my people, they are stating that in a shocking turn of events, reggae singer Pressure Busspipe was robbed at gunpoint in the British Virgin Islands early Sunday morning, just hours after attending the highly anticipated Vybz Kartel concert. The US Virgin Islands native, known for its of an affection, confirmed to the Daily News that armed assailants took his chain, bracelet, and ring, and he and his entourage made their way to their vehicle, my people, and he would have quote, "I am okay and I am thankful for everyone for their outpouring love and support," and he basically declined to share further details as to what exactly transpired, my people. But as the most we can say, that is definitely not a good look, my people. You get to me, I say, yeah, man. And also, my people, would I see where the likes of dancehall artist Squash, would I see where her mother come out and promise say she are going to talk up a bag of things as it relates to some music insiders in a upcoming interview, my people. You get to me, I say, yeah, man, she is stating that she think a lot of people were bash her son, people where her son Squash give her strength, and she know in ourselves that fear hands are clean and so forth, and a lot of people are paint a negative image of my people. So she go on an interview and basically talk up the things and shake up the world. I don't know who you think I go get the interview with people if you don't feel like a Nightly Fix, if you don't feel like a Jeffrey or whatever. But this should be interesting. And just for clarity, my people, when I can actually take a listen at what Squash Mom is saying out her own mouth. So check this out.
Me do more good in my life than bad. Me watch my son, it's not for uno want me see my son do something, so I'm going to come out contact you, see uno have to go blood clot murder me. Me never sit down and plan to kill the next man. I sit down with my son for plan to kill the next artist or to kill people. Uno go suck on the mama every last one of uno. Go deep upon it to the mama bomba wall. I'm tell you this, God have me, I'm strong. You see, it's maker there. No for uno artist not like him, no. I don't know say it's blood clot maker ever trending number blood clot one. I don't think God go watch you know more. Me say I'm more which bad for people and the more than step up in the life. Me say God, me tell you all of my enemy them or suck the mama with a big Burger King straw. 1-6 bars to the world. Don't you see me now come live. I only come Batman so-called one for certain what easy right now to mama bomba wall. Dirty boy, you and your rotten teeth producer was sit down and tell people what they come and go suck on the mama who go hell headway. The amount of people they want to kill and destroy. I try to get me program if you do not no blood thin up and make sure I never kill nobody. I never set up nobody like me never go over man go kill nobody. Nobody who can't chat to me. My heart clean, all me do appear good in the life to uno. Uno go no when me have share, me have go and take care of blood clot. Uno, I me see I rob me blood clot. Rob much money, rob no one a friend him carry man figure kill him a senti, rob man take a man furniture, close up to dog and pat on a blood clot thief. And uno make millions, no bad mind, uno likes anything. Hey, so me drop all the interview, a view yeah, me the chat from starting come straight down. Everything what me know uno blood clot, me interview they come soon. And they go shake up the world. Everything what me know uno do go put to blood clot justice. Uno see the squash I want you, uno cannot hold. Uno couldn't say God bless him and give him glory. Let me tell you, I saw uno wish bad for him, I saw God paved.
So yes, my beautiful people, that is that, you know, you get what me I say. So I don't know what to think if we now go tune into that to hear exactly what she's saying on her side of the story. I always see her on like TikTok, but I never really hear her on like an interview where somebody would have reason with her and so forth. So you don't know if we see that on the internet where we check in and see what is going on with people. And just to finalize this whole blog, my people, that's where the likes of Prime Minister Andrew Wallace did his budget debate, my people. You get what I say? Yeah, man. And in that budget debate, he would talk up a bag of things, my people, almost about 4 to 5 hours what are debating. So there, me that try to like summarize it, but me just realize that it not gonna really work in a one blog. So probably me have to go give you an update in this blog and a next blog me actually go now update. If I try to give you an update in a one blog, it are gonna basically too long. All if something we pick out and shorten and you know pick out the main points and so forth. You get what I say? So when I see, as me say, a lot of things when I share another blog with actually like in plans and so forth and whatever. But you know, this is like a part where we basically direct some attacks at the PNP with the whole FinSac thing, you know, stating that when it comes on to the economy, them have the solution to fix it. And you know, he is basically stating that, you know, physical discipline is him at the father feed, and you know Mark Golden them a try to get to it, but they are jack it to them. And one bag of things, my people, now if you actually listen to the explanation from the likes of Prime Minister Andrew Wallace and tell me one thing. Check this out.
Jamaica today has the strongest economy since our independence. We are not going back to the failed policies of the PNP. Madam Speaker, our net international reserves now stand at a record high of $5.5 billion, representing 29 weeks of goods and service imports. This provides Jamaica with a crucial buffer against external shocks. In the past, we lived in fear of global financial crises, natural disasters, or commodity price swings that could send our economy into turmoil. Today, we stand prepared and protected with reserves that give us the confidence and security to navigate the uncertainties of the global economy. When my administration took office in 2016, the NIR was less than half what it is today. We have increased the NIR by 131%. Jamaica today has the strongest economy since independence, and we will not allow the PNP to have a party with our rent money. We will not allow the PNP to party with our rent money as the Minister of Finance. Indeed, I have never heard a Minister of Finance make a more apt characterization that the NIR is literally your rent money. And we can't allow anybody to play with that. The roots of our debt crisis. Jamaica faced two major periods of debt distress. The first, from the 1970s to the late 1980s. And this was driven by two global oil price shocks, a failed experiment with democratic socialism, a global recession that slashed bauxite revenues, and hurricanes Allen and Gilbert in 1980 and 1988, respectively. The second period of debt distress, was from the 1990s to the late 2010s. And it stemmed largely from the PNP's policy during the FinSAC era, which collapsed financial institutions, wiped out the business class, and triggered a prolonged recession worsened by the 2008 to 2009 global financial crisis. In the mid-1990s, Jamaica faced a financial sector crisis, which resulted in the collapse of a number of financial institutions. The financial sector meltdown was not caused by any exogenous, meaning outside shocks or global crisis. In fact, the US, our major trading partner, had robust growth in the 1990s, averaging 3.4% per annum. This was purely caused by bad government, bad policy choices, and poor superintendence of the economy. Listen to me clearly, members. FinSAC was a homegrown domestic crisis wholly caused by the PNP, for which we are now only just recovering. Our debt to GDP prior to the advent of the FinSAC crisis was 72%. The government at the time established FinSAC to bail out the collapsed financial institutions. This bailout cost the country 42% of GDP. In other words, 42% of what we produce in any 1 year, we had to take it to pay for FinSAC. By way of comparison, the US government's bailout intervention during the global financial crisis of 2008-2009 was only 9% of their GDP. So you see the magnitude of the scale of FinSAC relative to the size of our economy. Within 6 years after the establishment of FinSAC, our debt spiraled out of control from 72% of GDP to 130% of GDP, almost doubling. That caused interest costs alone on the debt to consume almost 70% of tax revenues. So just the cost to pay for the debt, the interest at one point cost us 70% of all the tax revenues that we collect. If you add public sector wages to that, and other things that you have to pay for out of tax revenue, then you basically would have no money left. You would have no money left to fix roads, no money left to build schools, no money left to repair clinics, no money left to pay for water. So if you ever wondered, if you ever wondered why we have so much infrastructure that has been left unmaintained and now falling apart, if you ever wondered why things are the way they are, if you ever wondered, Madam Speaker, it's an important point that needs to be made, because the average man listening might, in the background of the shrill of noise that we hear, this might go way back in their memory, and they see a pothole emerge in a road, and they wonder, why doesn't the government fix that pothole now? But they will never stop and reflect on a very important point, Madam Speaker, that when this road was built 30 or 40 years ago, what should have happened is that there should have been a reserve maintenance programmed into the budget, matched with what they call the engineered life of the road, that as a little crack emerges, out of the revenues that you have, you go and you use some tar chemical and you seal that crack, so no pothole appears. But that road that you are looking at now, that the potholes are all emerging, they weren't maintained. And the reason why they couldn't be maintained is because we had to take almost 70% of our tax revenues to pay for the bad policy choices of the PNP during the 1990s and 20s. I want to make us to understand that lack of maintenance accumulates. Lack of spending on infrastructure amounts to what is called disinvestment. So you can build a hospital, but if you don't maintain a schedule of maintenance, the value of that hospital declines, depreciates. So today, when you look at the hospital and say, why this government don't do something about it? Even if this government were to take all the money it has now, it couldn't today immediately halt and stop the deterioration. I think the public must understand this. Because, Madam Speaker, it is the same public that voted in the same PNP government over and over and over again. It is a point that needs to be understood, that the economic struggle that the country has had to restore its economy is so that it is able to have revenues steady and stable and predictable that it can then use to maintain and provide the things you want over a long period without making bad decisions to put those revenues in peril. If you want to know what drives me, Madam Speaker, is to make sure that we never go back. So, Madam Speaker, so if you want to know what is the root of our problems today, It is the bad policies of the PNP in the 1990s. Madam Speaker, they don't like to hear this. And 90% of Jamaica may not appreciate and understand it, but we're going to bring the facts. Madam Speaker, the root cause of the crisis, the FinSAC crisis, was the premature policy decisions of the PNP to liberalize the foreign exchange market in 1991 without the necessary preconditions such as reserves in place. In other words, they went to party but didn't have any money. This triggered a rapid depreciation of the Jamaican dollar and skyrocketing prices, with inflation reaching 80% in 1991 and 40% in 1992. Not having any rent money to ward off speculators, the government then tried to protect the exchange rate through exorbitant interest rates. As a result, productive enterprises, especially small businesses, were unable to service their loans, and the loans became non-performing. Mounting non-performing loans and loan defaults then caused banks to collapse. Madam Speaker, the PNP's high interest rate policy created a two-tiered economy. One, where cash-rich speculators thrived while productive businesses drowned in insurmountable debt. This led to what a prominent member of the PNP described as the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since slavery. Madam Speaker, who were the beneficiaries of this wealth transfer from the poor to the rich? Is there anyone in this house who was a part of this ill-conceived policy, whose business it was to profit from the great transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich? The fallout was immense. It is estimated that over 40,000 businesses collapsed, wiping out entrepreneurs and leaving thousands destitute. This decimated the manufacturing sector in Jamaica. Burdened with high-cost debt, unable to retool to keep competitive, many factories closed during this period. We recall companies like Thermoplastic, Highgate Food Products, Home Electrics, and others too numerous to name that could not survive the inhospitable climate that FinSAC created. Madam Speaker, those who formed the government that presided over this economic debacle have never apologized or even expressed any remorse. Worse, they have the audacity to lecture this administration on how to run an economy. While we acknowledge the work of the PNP in the national effort across administrations, any political credit they should get for contributing to the solution is totally wiped out, because they are the ones whose bad policy caused the problem in the first place. To their true bipolar nature, the PNP wants to claim paternity after causing the mother, the people, so much hardship. In their last budget presentation, the leader of the opposition and the opposition spokesman on finance disingenuously accused the government of increasing taxes on the people of Jamaica. In this budget, in this budget presentation, well, in the last budget presentation, the leader of the opposition said, since the JLP government came into office, they have more than doubled the annual tax take, increasing it by a massive $190,000 per person. Yet, in his recent budget presentation this year, the leader of the opposition and the opposition spokesman on finance both claim that the improved performance of tax revenue is due to the tax reform work of the PNP. So we need to ask ourselves, is it the PNP that is responsible for Jamaicans paying more taxes? In the 2023 budget, the leader of the opposition complained that the government was moving too fast to reduce debt. He advocated that we abandon the fiscal responsible path, use $40 billion, in other words, go and party with the rent money. Money that we're supposed to use for debt repayment to spend on temporary relief. In this budget, when he sees the amazing benefit of reducing the debt to 68% and the amazing fiscal space that is created for us to actually now sustainably deal with the relief effort, he now comes claiming that the reduction in debt is due to the PNP's faithfulness to fiscal prudence. This reminds me of the classic tale of what we in Jamaica sometimes regretfully call buttless father, who caused the mother so much pain and then abandons the child. But when the child grows up to be successful, out of the blue they turn up to claim paternity and associate with success. This leader of the opposition is a man of convenience, flip-flopping between prudence and popularity when it suits him. 1 minute he disowns the child of fiscal discipline, and then the next he claims the child of fiscal discipline. The mother remembers the pain of FinSAC and the high interest rate policy, the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich, and she knows that she cannot trust this worthless man. So the DNA test was done. The DNA test was done. The results are in. When it comes to 15-year-old fiscal discipline, PNP, you are not the father. Yes, your name call, but it is another goaling that is the father.
So yes, my beautiful people, that is what I go on and what I go on. And I don't know what the thoughts or the views. I get to me and say, but as we say, we will, give you some updates as it relates to another part, some other time. I get to me and say when we find the time. And also, we see where the likes of Mr. Vegas nodded in approval to what Prime Minister Andrew Holness presented. I get to me and say he is stating that, it's the lecture suited him, my people, and in his view, him think that it make Mark Golding and what him presented look like him not try. We have to actually take a listen to what Mr. Vegas is saying, my people. Check this out.
Yeah. Now we just come out of 5-hour, lecture. And the lecturer was Dr. Andrew Holness, and I learned so much about history. I learned so much, all the backside thing, when the man talk about the backside thing, Zane, and how the Jamaica Labour Party had to pay $31 million US Zine, because of the bad, deal where the PMP make with backside. Zine, you learn so much things, brethren. Zine, and so much interesting things, so much you can get from what the man I say. If you really, really want to make something in your life, your opportunity this. Zine, you can seize on them opportunity here. Zine, the AI program with the children, them, the learning, mechanism where them try to implement, that one good idea. Zine, that stood out for me. Zine, a whole heap of thing in the thing where we met to say, are the right thing. The $20,000 for the people them where can make ends meet, good idea, and then get them, in our programs we can assist them. Zine, that one good idea too. Zine, no, when we listen to Dr. Andrew Wellness, I'm go back and check back Mark Golding's speech. Zine, I realize say Mark Golding had just some quick fix or some unrealistic plan him put forward. Zine, it's like say I want to say, then how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? One of the things I want to point out too is the rent to own. Zine, and the $1 billion when him say him go put forward to people under 35 years old for them deposit. See, first thing, the $1 billion when I talk about, and it sounds so good to you. Do you realize that only 2,000 people alone can benefit from that? Because 500,000, Zine, for each person, and him put up $1 billion. 1 billion divided by 500,000. At 2,000 people that So when it sound nice and everything to us, say, yeah, him put up $1 billion. At 2,000 people alone that can benefit, that can reach, 2,000 people. 2,000 people under 35. Zine, left that alone. Boom, you got to rent to own. Him say people in the informal sector. That means like bag juice man and the man where I sell look food on the roadside and so forth and so on. The man have look a cook shop and railway. Zine, alright. Him gonna make it possible for them people that own a house. Alright, cool. Nice. It sounds like a great idea. But here's the problem with this now. When the people them can't pay them rent or them stop pay them rent, we are going to kick them out. After you tell the people them say them that it's possible for them to own this house, you think you can get them out so easy. Now who are going to maintain them house, yeah? Because me not reason, with rents them and some great minds and them are reason about it. And me I say, whoa, me have to pull it up and really look at it, The rent to own thing we matter about for an informal workers, brethren. I want dangerous something, even though it sounds so good and nice, It come like say, it's a garrison, the man a plan to build, the man a plan to turn the whole Jamaica and a garrison, A PMP is in that, A man never tell us say, him even can afford to buy a house. And you tell the man, say, yo, alright, if you rent, you can own. And the man start paying rent, fall upon hard times, back juice, stop sell, something happen. Because the man has no history, the man has no pay slip. You have no evidence that this man can even afford to buy a place. You have no evidence that this man consistently a PM bills them or PR bills them. And you take him and put him in a house. And him find the first 6 months rent. And after that he must say, boy, say it's rough. Renting and work out, because you go on. You may live somewhere where they may not share the bills, And you take him now or take her now. You take her or take him and put them in a house and say, pay your rent, you got to own the place. What happen when them stop paying the rent? And who are going to maintain them property here? Who are going to maintain them property here? And where are these places going to be? Because some of these things can devalue people properties, And people surroundings, Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Mark Golding is a 3-card man. When I listen to Andrew Wellness' speech today, I listen to Mark Golding's speech. Mark Golding a 3-card man. Remember me telling you, 3-card man.
So yeah, my people, that is what Mr. Vegas is saying, stating that he's rather impressed as it relates to the presentation. You get to me and say, yeah man, but you don't know you will have like other ones-on-ones where I go share them opinion from the streets. You get to me and say, so when we like actually catch up on them, then we make you know what go on and hear what the people them are saying at the street. It should be rather interesting. But a whole lot more things was said as it relates to Prime Minister Andrew Wallace. As me say, it will take a while for we actually share everything, but we are going to take with time and make you see and hear as much as possible. You get to me and say, because I know say I know like everybody are going to sit down and watch like the 4 or 5 hour away a man a present a whole heap of time, that especially for people who have to work and move on a daily. So I understand all the things. You get to me and say, but feel like pick out some stuff where I want for people to hear out of like 4 or 5 or 3 hour what that stuff. I will heap picking out that. So it will take a while. But big up on yourself and bless up on yourself, my people. I don't know how the thing go. Respect our manners goes out. Catching up on another one. I'm out.